Welcome back on arunfoot, another discussion on transfers in Indian football, but also the latest news from the Indian national team. And my very, very good friend Hiren from Curious Harry joins me here today. Thank you, Hiren. We earlier today were having a discussion on what is, so to say, happening well or bad in Indian football, running good or running bad. And today, of course, it's a little bit of a more different discussion in regard to what are the things and how are they running within Indian football. The question here is, and I move the banner. If we talk about the national team and what is all happening, what is all not happening, what's your feeling? What's your feeling about the national team and the upcoming matches against Kuwait and Qatar?
First of all, hello to everyone and hello to you, sir. Also, feeling, sir, is definitely, I think, is not great in a way because of the team's performance in last couple of matches and what is happening around the team. I think, in that sense, there is not, you can say, the confidence in the team. This player, despite they are having a, you can say, in a great form. A couple of players are coming up from a really good form in their respective clubs. But despite that, I think due to the atmosphere of the national team, I think there is a, you can say, a little bit doubt about the team's performance. I think you can't, you can say, predict what is going to happen on the 6th of June or the 11th of June against Qatar. So that is the thing, but I think as in the last couple of days regarding this Sunil Chetri's news and everything has happened, and this time team have a, you can say, enough time to preparation. So my expectation is I think at least the way we perform against Afghanistan, I think we will definitely perform better than that. At least that's my least expectation, I would say, from the team. Whatever the result, I don't you can say mind it, but I think at least team needs to show that commitment, character, and that you can say hungerness to play for the national team in that performance. So I'm expecting little bit better performance compared to Afghanistan games, but you can say I'm not great confidence in terms of the we are going to win those matches.
And I think that's the scary part, no? That confidence level that we might have had last summer. Okay, things look good, and things might be looking up after Intercontinental Cup, SAF Cup. Even though I was a little scared, careful about it, but suddenly that has turned 180 degrees. That people are now saying, "Are you lose." It doesn't matter what happens. This team will lose. How it's very difficult to grasp that. Even though now this whole Sunil Chhetri situation has come up, and suddenly we are in a thing that that people might be looking at things differently, in a way. Do you think that things change with the problems that we have perceived to be within the team?
I think if you want to solve the problem, you first have to address it. Simple as that. And I think no one is ready to address it. Either it will be coach, player, AFF side. No one is taking that initiative to, you can say, address that problem. Otherwise, this problem will continue, and you have to, you can say, face the consequences of that. And we are facing it already. Otherwise, there is no way you can lose against Afghanistan. Simple as that. The least result would have been a draw at the home also, but you lose at the home. So I think no one is ready to accept their mistake. I'm not saying it's only mistake of the coach or he is to blame, but every party involved in the national team's performance, everyone has their you can say share of blame, and no one is willing to, you can say, address and to try to make it as a work as a team. So that I think, sir, as you mentioned, the scariest part is the no one is saying the winning, but the most scariest part is now people are saying that we need to lose so we can get rid of Yugoslavians. So that is the level where fans have gone through. So I think that's the, I would say, bottom line. If any fan base wants their team to lose, to make the changes in the team, either it will be on the player side or the coach side or the, whatever you call it. but the level they want to, you can say, want their team to go down is a little bit scarier. And I think now the AFF coach or player needs to see that, and I think they need to, you can say, address this problem and move ahead. But I don't think so it's happening in this next 10-15 days.
I think that's the big concern, no? That with all said and done, it is the final game of Sunil Chhetri and India shirt. Also, a question I was asked by someone privately today is, why does Sunil Chhetri end in Kolkata and doesn't end against Qatar? Which is a very valid question, because at the end of the day, the campaign ends with the game against Qatar in Doha. But again, I think Sunil wanted to have his final game at home. I think, Kolkata is a very suitable venue for such a final game. I'm sure the stadium will be full, it will be sold out. But there are too many doubts around this team at the moment, and too many concerns, I guess. And that is, yeah, that makes me think that, with all said and done, how can things be improved around the team? And I guess the simple thing that one could change in in a short space of time is most probably to change the coach. And that is, I think, the most uh, 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 interesting question in all of this. That is, what has happened and what will happen. I mean, and again, I think everyone else will want India to win, but again, I find myself in that situation as well. Is that okay? In the interest of Indian football, maybe we'll have to lose this game.
And I think an interest of the Indian football, and also you have to see the little bit longer also. You just can't see this one match and there this round three, because if that happens, then this coach, I don't think so KFF have that balls or guts to, you can say, sack him after we are qualifying into the round two, which is ideally should be done despite of the any result in these two matches. We win, we sack coach. We lose, we sack coach. Simple as that. We need to start that a new cycle. We discussed a couple of days ago also about that. But I think due to the incompetency of the, you can say, AFF, I think we are in a juncture where we need to, you can say, see that result and to start a new cycle with the, you can say, new coach who has a little bit more, I would say, technically is better than Igor Stimac, and a coach who has I mean, I want someone who's worked in this kind of condition where they face this kind of problem, and rather than giving you can say excuses, he works on their thing and try to find a solution. So I think in a betterment in terms of the long term for Indian national team, I think the, you can say the other way result is also, I would say, good result for India.
Yeah, I think that's a very valid point. And again, I think we need to look at the long-term ramifications of Steamach staying for so long. And again, where are we on a development ladder? Let's come to talk about transfer news, because I could not ask the question. Any Mumbai news? I think the news of the moment, or the transfer that is being discussed the most, is where is Diamantakos going? It's now been reported a few times over the last few days that East Bengal supposedly was done. So at this moment, as far as news is, Diamantakos has still not decided to sign for
Decided.
any club. It is likely to be between East Bengal and Mumbai City FC at the moment. FC Goa supposedly were interested in the player. I've also heard that at some stage even BFC had tried to, sort of Bangalore FC have tried to get to the player. At the moment, it looks like he is potentially leaning towards East Bengal, because they are most probably going to offer him the highest ever salary offered by East Bengal as a club to any footballer ever. So that seems to be an interesting piece of news. So therefore, that seems to be the situation. So that's the big one. And at Mumbai City, I think I want to come back to that topic. I think the question is that the club is trying to extend certain contracts. We saw the day after, or the night even of the ISL finals, the whole TD situation, that supposedly TD had gone, but now it looks like that TD will most probably stay with Mumbai City. The rumors regarding Apuya seem to be made up news by people in Kolkata because he was on a certain list from East Bengal FC, and I think that is something which I find very interesting. Is that a lot of players have been linked with East Bengal or are being linked with East Bengal who have long-term contracts at other teams. Apuya is one, Suresh Wangjam is another one, Vipin Mohanan is another one. So therefore, let's wait and see. But Mumbai, I think the first point is who are they keeping, and who are they retaining as players? That's the first point. And then I think they'll be active, and so therefore let's wait and see. Ayush says Diamantokos to Mumbai. Ayush just as explained, Diamantokos is on the market, has not decided to sign for whom. At the moment, it looks like between Mumbai and East Bengal, and he also adds Ayush adds that Apuya is not going to go. So let's wait and see. Hiren, how do you see this whole discussions?
I think definitely Dimantakos is a player who is definitely any club in ISL wants to go for it because the quality and the goal scoring ability brings. I think it will be for any ISL club. I think it will be a huge boost. I would say, but definitely at the moment East Bengal and Mumbai City are in the race. I would say I'm seeing maybe East Bengal a little bit ahead. जिस तरह से from every place there is a news coming up, but I think Mumbai City is also maybe quietly working on it. So let's see. I think final decision is on the maybe I think you can say will be revealed very soon. And let's see वो दिमाग को किसको choose करते हैं. I think that will be interesting to see. So that will be the you can say the final say. So interesting because Divantakos is definitely this season's Golden Boot winner. So there will be a huge you can say hype up about him, or you can say noise about him. Where is he going to go? And but one thing I think is sure is he's going to stay at the ISL. So that's it.
Let's see. Shomo is asking, is Mohan Bagan cooking something big? I think they were trying Jamie McLaren, and if it looked like Jamie McLaren seemed to have been done 10 days ago, but McLaren still is not done. Their offer is on the table. They're looking at replacements, and I think they will really start working. And news will come out once the IPL is done, because again, the same management of Mr. Goenka of RPSG are involved with the Lucknow Super Giants, in the IPL. So therefore, I think they'll be coming to talk about things as well. Kumar says hi, also from me, and I think from here and hi to you, Kumar. Shomo says, can we see any ISL foreigners will be called up in Euro? I don't know of anyone. Hiren, do you know of
No,
any? I don't recollect any ISL
no,
foreign
no.
at the moment.
No, I don't think so. I think any ISL player country has I think no, no. I think Federer Konis I think नहीं हुआ ना उनका contribution
Lithuania is
पूरे
too
टीम.
low. No.
हाँ हाँ फिर तो I think no no other country जिसके कंट्री क्वालिफाई हुए हैं उसमें उनकी नेशनल टीम में चलानी. So so I
Yeah,
don't think so कि
I'm just thinking of going through the names. Albania. It could be
अरमांडो
Sadiq
सादी को
Armando.
but I don't think so. उनको लास्ट मैचेस भी कहाँ उनको खिलाए हैं. I don't see he might be called up.
No, he wasn't called up for the last ones.
हाँ
I'm just
exactly.
checking Albania again. I don't follow uh, their team too much, but I'm just checking once from the information. No, he didn't play the last qualifiers. Yeah, he last played against the Faroe Islands in June 2023. So he played for Albania before coming to India. So from that side, and that's I think the only player who could. Sadiq was the only one. So therefore that's the thing. So this is why everybody's leaving MCC. Is downfall of MCC. Why is everybody leaving? I don't see everybody leaving. There are certain players leaving. I think you've had a certain cycle over the last 3-4 years. I think
that rotation is very much needed. If you see why Manchester City is successful in Premier League, because they changed their. I think Kevin De Bruyne is the only player who, when Pep Guardiola is take over Manchester City, he was the only player there. Other than that, every player has been changed in these last years, 7 8 years. And this season, after winning this Premier League, now news coming up that there are some player might leave. Today I heard about the Ederson.
Yeah,
So you need to change the cycle, I think. And Mumbai City in last 3 years, I think, going with the same bunch of, I would say, key players. So I think they need a that rotation and that hungerness in the player also to win the again the sealed the trophy. So I think that is a very crucial part. And I think I heard one interview of Pep Guardiola also where he mentioned about this thing, this squad rotation to, you can say, maintain that hungerness in the team to go for the title every season and season out. So I
that's
think
that is one
that is very crucial. Hmm.
that is very crucial, Hiren, and that's very right. And from that side, I think that Mumbai City is looking to strengthen their squad. I think there were also issues with certain foreigners,
Exactly.
you know, in and around the Super Cup, but some changes were not made. I see. So therefore, again, if Thierry and Fanif remain and you bring in four others, I think that's going to be interesting.
And
So that's that. Yeah.
other factor is, I think, also in last 2 years, the team was under Des Buckingham, and now Peter Ketke is a new head coach. So he wants a little bit. I would say playing philosophy is same, but I think every coach has a, you can say, some different in that sense.
Hmm.
You can say in terms of the tactics or in that way. So I think he might want a different kind of player or different personalities, as you mentioned that. Some players have we seen throughout the season there is some issue regarding with their behavior. So straight away he mentioned publicly. So it's not acceptable. So I think with change in the coach, I think you generally we see this kind of, you can say, little bit change in this sport also.
Exactly, and that's going to be the thing. There'll be players coming and going. Looks likely that Bipin Singh could be going to Odisha. Gurkirat could be going to Chennai. And I'm very interested to see if Nikum is brought in back from Interkashi or if he spends another
Exactly.
season on loan on Interkashi. I think one of the most talented Indian players.
Vinith Rai goes to Punjab FC.
Rinit Rai goes to Punjab FC. So there are certain confirmations. Rahul Beke has been linked with BSC, as have been Alberto Noguera as well as Jorge Pereira Diaz. So let's wait and see what happens at Mumbai City FC. Deepak Das says, what if Manchester City Academy scouted 170-year-old from each City football group team and trained them in their own academy so you could get one world-class player? Deepak, if football was so easy that you would get, a group of, let's say, 27-year-olds together and then you have world-class players for XYZ, uh, um,
it's
it
it's
doesn't
a
work that way.
constant process. It's a constant process. You try and you can say hit and miss. Out of 1,000 player you train, there might be a possibilities of maybe 0.0001%. You never know which player will, you can say, become world class. You can't say now the next Messi will be from Argentina. Simple as that. There is a
And
no
and
clear
and
procedure for that.
and the point is, if you have a group of 20 players, maybe even one player of that group might make it, or maybe even zero.
Hmm.
That's the likelihood.
Zero
The
agree.
statistics are very
Hmm.
rarely. Exceptions are when two, three players from an age group come together. I remember, for example, at Stuttgart, Joshua Kimmich and Serge Gnabry are from the same
Gnabry.
batch, right? So therefore, that's an exception. So therefore, it's not that easy. And of course, 7-year-old to bring him in, is he gonna do good enough? You can't even do that. So again, there's child labor laws and regulations
नहीं
which
नहीं
don't make it possible.
नहीं if that thing happens then तो ये जो बड़े क्लब से उनकी मतलब चाहे बार्सिलोना हो चाहे चेल्सी इन सब की तो फिर तो इन लोगों को बाहर से साइनिंग करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. They have
No,
such a great academies.
but exactly. But then the
हाँ
examples are there. There are examples, right? There are
हाँ
examples. That you have the Xavis and the Iniestas and the Puyols who've gone through Barca, let's say, or the current, let's say, Bayern example is Alexander Pavlovich. The holding
it's a
midfielder
great talent.
who started off as a 9-year-old at Bayern. So that these are rare examples, but they do
But
happen.
आप सर देखिए बार्सिलोना में भी जो आपने जावी वाली बैच बोली या फिर उससे बाद मेसी पीके और उन सब वाली बैच थी, उसके बाद आप देखिए बारसा में आप देखिए कितना एक डिकेड जितना टाइम बीत गया कि उसके बाद आपको फिर से अगर कोई टैलेंट मिला तो एक गावी मिला, यहाँ पे गावी या फिर लेमिन यमाल। अब बीच में आप देखिए कोई भी आपको लामासिया का प्लेयर याद नहीं आएगा कि जिन्होंने
नहीं
क्लब के
आता
लिए
है,
मतलब।
लिसन आता
हाँ
है, you have had Ansu Fati, this that everything, but they come and go,
हाँ गो
right? So
एग्जैक्टली
that is,
एग्जैक्टली
and so football is not something which you can organize and plan and
प्लान।
do, but that is the thing. ISS states not having I League team should have club. Ayush, I think there are clubs across all Indian states. So from that perspective, the clubs exist. The question is rather if there is the state league or your local league, whatever that is, which are good enough for you to be able to play your way up in the pyramid. There's an earlier discussion today that Hiren and I
आई
had
थिंक
on his channel, so which you can, I think, you can watch, where we had tried to address this issue of what is the structure of a pyramid of going up.
and I think it should be on now merit basis. You can't
Hmm.
say कि, I think if that wants the team into the I League or ISL, they need to, you can say कि have a better state league. They need to be much more, you can say कि, active in the district leagues and everything. And then definitely there will be hyped up, and then definitely someone will think that we can have a club from the, if you want a direct entry also. Then
Hmm.
someone think कि we can start a club here.
Exactly. Kumar, going back to that Diamantacos discussion, has struggled in his first season up to India weather. He took more response second season after injury. Some people shine under pressure. Yes, but again, going to Kolkata is something different. And Oniman just adding to it in regard to Diamantacos, and I think Diamantacos will come up again and again tonight. At the moment, Diamantacos has signed nowhere, so it's not clear. East Bengal has offered him a contract with a higher salary, the highest that East Bengal has ever offered a player, and the player has to decide if he wants to take up the offer or rather sign for Mumbai City or maybe somewhere else. So that's the status of the things. Karam asks regarding Punjab FC, any signings? Well, the two signings that are there, one is, and both of them were East Bengal targets, Vinit Rai, and on the other side, Ninthoy from Chennai. So those are the two that Punjab FC has confirmed so far. Deepak Das says, I watched Oxford United game. It made me really happy for Buckingham. Feels like it was finally in the right place. Yeah, he's back home. So therefore, Des Buckingham is now with Oxford United in the championship. Sumas, any news on under 20, under 17 national teams, or still are we waiting for another qualifiers? Under 23, I don't know. I thought if they were planning some matches in June, they would have called immediately a camp after the ISL. But again, we've also had RFDL, so maybe that's the reason. Maybe we'll see an announcement this week. But I've not heard anything about any matches. Under 17, Ishfaq Ahmed has been appointed as the head coach for the under 17 qualifiers. Unlike in earlier years, the AFF doesn't have any budget, so I think they will only be training in India and then going wherever the qualifiers will be. So that's the status of what I know. I don't know, Hiren, have you got any other infos?
I think that is the news, and I think 24 there is a final of the under 17 youth league. So after that camp will start, and in June, and definitely the player will be called up for that. I think under 23 का I think same, I think उसका कोई न्यूज़ नहीं है, and ये जो इस साइकिल का जो बजट है उसमें भी एक्सपोजर के लिए कट डाउन हुआ है. So there will be no matches for under 17, 20 or 23 in outside India. I think
Yeah.
so. That is the thing. Only camp will happen, and Asian Cup and SAF qualify, SAF championship. That's it.
Yeah. Debrup asking, now please give Mumbai transfer updates. If Marcus isn't replying, any incoming news, please. Debrup, I think Mumbai City are working on a few things, and just give them some time. They're working on some interesting transfers at the moment, and don't be worried. Mumbai will have a good squad to fight for the shield and try to defend the cup. That's my only thing that I can say on that. Show was asking what happened to Gangte. He was prolific goal scorer a few years ago in his age group. Gangte played in the final of RFDL for East Bengal. So he's part of these. I think, if I'm not wrong, he even scored a goal. And he's going through the thing that you normally see in Indian football with a number of players transitioning from youth to senior level. I think there was too much hype around the player. Of course, directly signed for an ISL team. I think it might have been better even for East Bengal. It might have been better to have loaned him to an I-League team and then pushed him up. But Gante needs match experience. So that's what I feel. Sorry.
अच्छा ये
Yeah. Gante, yeah.
गांगते तो चेन्नई एफसी में है ना गांगते चेन्नई एफसी में साइन किया है गुइते आई थिंक इसके
Oh,
साथ वेस्ट
sorry. I
बंगाल
messed him up. I sorry. Thank Mayank. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but same problem, right? Lack of exposure. Right. So that's the problem that I see with these boys. Classic Gaming asking, why not European club come India for preseason plus now are going to play against Australia All-Stars? Why can't there be similar thing like us also European club? We have eyeballs. It's
पैसा.
See, as one of the few people who have organized matches in India, I was telling people the other day that it was my idea to make it a testimonial match for Baichung against Bayern in 2012. The German side ensured that the money was available to be, and Audi made it available. Otherwise, the match would not have happened. And it's simple that European clubs, and the monies are quite high these days. The money wasn't that high, it's a decade back, or 2008 also. There was someone who came forward to fund that Bayern played Mohun Bagan. And there's no one willing to fund that, right? And we have a problem of money in Indian football. Again, we have enough money to pay the ISL players ridiculous salaries now. That's there. But to do these kind of other things which are commercially not really viable in an Indian context, the eyeballs don't count. Classic Gaming, we don't even have the eyeballs. If you ask Star or Sony to give you the TV viewership numbers that they potentially have, so therefore for me it's not happening. We don't have the money, so therefore and the European clubs have also some of them are doing stuff, they're doing small things, but they're not going to do the big things because the money is not in the market. So yeah, let's wait and see. Extending any foreigners? Yes, they're trying to extend foreigners, but I've not heard anything. I think Luka Machin is one of them, and let's wait and see. Let's see let's see what happens. Shyam says exposure clear. We need to go to a top nation. Expensive wise, we can go to Uzbekistan, Lithuania, Georgia, maybe Eastern Europe, and cheap and Middle East. Going somewhere is the saying is an easy part. Then the second part is who's going to play us? What is the infrastructure? Do they want, just to hit out names, guys, is relatively easy. And in the last few years, all that has happened. I remember when the Under-17 World Cup squad was preparing under with the help of the DFB, the German association. We did a lot of stuff here. There was help from other associations as well. Last year, Spain was made possible for the under-17s because of Atletico Madrid. Bundesliga made it possible for them to come to Stuttgart and to Augsburg. That's how it's worked. So these are sort of the realities of things, and let's hope these things get possible. But Eastern Europe, again, Middle East happens. You've seen India go to Dubai. We've had links now into Saudi, this, that, everything. That will happen. But Europe, I think Western Europe is more of a target. I think Germany, Spain, and Netherlands, those kind of countries rather than Eastern Europe. Can you please arrange a match as tribute to Sunil? Let's wait. Again, it depends a little on the AFF and what the thing is, or European club who shows some sort of interest. At the moment, none of the clubs, none of it is sort of in the pipe. Let's say pipeline. Nothing is in the pipeline at the moment. Kumar, there is no need of a discussion between the AFF and FSDL regard to, Federation Cup, Super Cup format, because the AFF, it's an AFF tournament. AFF decides. It's like the old Super Cup. AFF decided and finalized it, right? So there's no discussion. FSDL organizes ISL and is supposed to market the rest of Indian or the whole of Indian football, but on the formats, because AFF is the technical body, it's them. So yeah, how do you see how he didn't? We've not heard anything on the Super Cup, whatever Super Cup, Federation Cup, jaise hoga during the season, like the FA Cup. What do you think?
Be, be, because there is a news that they have signed a 2-year deal with the Odisha government. So if Odisha government approves that the this season Super Cup can happen outside Odisha at home and away basis, then they can do. Otherwise, it will happen in Odisha.
That's another thing. So therefore, there might be the risk of again of the Super Cup maybe happening as an end of season tournament in Odisha. Classic Gaming, two marquee signings. Is it happening, Hiren? There was this news. Marcus did a story on it.
I think अगर होता भी है तब भी ऑलरेडी कर ही रहे हैं वो तो मतलब क्या बोलते हैं कि क्लब्स तो दे आर स्पेंडिंग ओवर क्या बोलते हैं कि वेल ओवर द सैलरी कैप सो आई थिंक अगर ऑफिशियली मतलब अभी आप बोल सकते कि लीगली हो जाएगा पहले क्लब वैसे भी बिहाइंड द सीन करते थे अब यहाँ पे लीगली आप बोल सकते हो कि दिस टू प्लेयर आर आउटसाइड सैलरी कैप एंड वी हैव स्पोर्ट सो आई थिंक मार्की साइनिंग से ज्यादा बेटर है कि साइनिंग वर्क कितनी करती है that is most important.
Again, and some players could move into the marquee status, right? So, I mean, Jason Cummings, for example, is a marquee signing. There are other players as well who have been signed as marquees, which of course has not been declared, but they are. So therefore, yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Ishan Bhadwaj, what do you make of Vinit Rai's move? He wasn't getting game time at Mumbai City FC. Punjab mein ja raha hai, Hiren. I think good move for him personally, no?
I think good move because Punjab FC I think little bit struggle in that position. I would say I find the two position where Punjab FC struggle this season. One is on the winger and one on the holding midfielder role. I think they try to use Abhishek and all of that, but I don't think so. They you can say get the uh, same output. So I think Vinit Rai is a much more experienced player, and he done well whenever he get the chance for Mumbai City FC. So I think it's a good addition, and that's why I think that they also go for Nithongwa Mite. I think last year they have some. I think I forgot the name. Krishna ऐसा कुछ नाम था who played some of the matches for them in the wing but he didn't you can say perform that well so I think it's a good addition.
Let's wait and see. Abhijit, SAF Club Championship, I've said it in our discussions multiple times. As long as there's no official announcement from SAF with the format, size, whatever's happening,
not happening yet. Not happening.
I don't know, and it's not factored into the season. So therefore,
There is a but there is a news sir that Kafa Club Championship might
happen.
Yes, Kafa is planning. I read somewhere. Kafa is planning to have a small club championship in I think Afghanistan.
I mean, ASEAN already has it. West Asia has it.
I think ASEAN today announced the Mitsubishi competition. I think competitions group. So I think all the other Asian regional federation can have it, but SAF don't have it. SAF is a AFF, SAF. These are
the sleeping giants of Asia.
Sleeping giants of
Asia. Amal says, I want fans bring a poster against the AFF coach in the match against Kuwait. Amal, I do understand it, but I think let's focus on the positives. I mean, that's the last match of Sunil. So therefore, I would say let's focus on that. And again, I think the conversations, will be. Let's see. Long back ago, there was talk that AF was making National Football Academy Baroda. Was that ever made in Patel time? There was talk of building something in Baroda. Yes, that was Mr. AFF का treasurer था Jadeja, Hardev Jadeja, or as I used to call him Jadeja uncle. There was conversations about that. But the question always was that the Gujarat government was supposed to fund certain parts of it, but that funding never came through. So therefore, it never happened. I guess it was some political mismatch, people not being aligned in the same party. Let's put it
But
this way.
in Baroda, sir, right now there is a one or two good academy. Baroda FA, there is a one
Mm-hmm.
also other academy, and they are doing good. I think Baroda FA this time won the state league also. So in
Achha.
Baroda, the football is definitely. A couple of years back, there was a no you can say this kind of academies, but now there are two three academies who is regularly participating and doing everything.
Ishan says marquee players will not be a bad idea in terms of getting eyeballs like season one. Ishan, the marquee player idea was never removed. But your
Hmm.
marquee players will not be like the marquee players in season one. You're
In
not going to
season
get a
one.
Nicolas Anelka or a David Trezeguet or a Marco Materazzi or a Alessandro Del Piero, or Robert Pires, those kind of characters. Our marquees now are Jason Cummings or maybe Jamie McLaren or I don't know, even a Dini Petratos most or Joel Van Neef. That's your marquee.
Hmm.
So therefore, I don't see that from a marketing wise it'll be a difference. Classic Gaming, Hamza Chaudhry to Bangladesh. It's ongoing. Uh, you know, uh, you know,
Next, I think
uh,
next in 6 months, I think he will be in Moscow.
the talks are on, and the question is when there's some paperwork involved in it, and then let's see if and when. It's not a question of if; it's a question of when Hamza Chaudhry and some of the others will debut for Bangladesh. Sanska says, bro, see point is if you want sell your, then why you are selling in ISL, send them in other leagues. Vikram Chanklepuya, another league. Are Sanskar, who will take an Indian player? Even CFG clubs will say, are, please don't send. Yeah, we'll take it for training, but don't send them for us to sign. I'm sure they're
Ah,
saying that. No one
no,
is
no,
waiting. No one is waiting for our players, guys.
ah,
Whenever anything has happened for an Indian footballer, it was individuals who made it possible for these players to go to play. It was a gentleman called Raj Purohit who made it possible for Baichung to go there. Sporting Lisbon was made possible by my friend Nuno in Portugal. Again, I tried my luck with Changte and some other players with Nimal Chetri and with Godwin Franco at Fortuna Düsseldorf. Everything that has happened not because of the quality of the player. It has happened despite in the lack of the quality of the player, but because people, individuals, wanted this to happen.
अब अभी सर काफी सारे लोग नहीं बोल रहे कि जैस बकिंगम कैन sign some of the Indian player, Mumbai City's player into the Oxford team for championship. I think if he thinks that if they are on the championship level, why would not they? But he thinks they are not. You can say at the level of the championship, or you can say for a League One in England. So that's why he didn't take any player. Otherwise, definitely any coach want you can say more quality player in their side.
Yeah. And linked to it, Agni's question, what about Mumbai City sending players abroad? Yes, a professional drivel, but what about training camps? And again, it's yes, they are working on these kind of things, but it's not something that someone is waiting for, right?
Hmm.
And again, I think they will also say, listen, guys, up your standard. Apuya, we saw Apuya going to Lommel and he did okay for himself, but again, for him, the gain is bigger than for Lommel. City Football Group or Red Bull, if you see, they push players from AB to C, right? That's normal in their system, but we are not of the level that we can ask our players to be there. That's the big thing. Shyam says maybe unpopular opinion. This AFF review may be corrupted, but second season away was good in managing tournament beside national team. Maybe it's natural progress of years of sloppiness, but still. Did I miss something, Hiren?
Managing tournament beside the national team, maybe. I think there is a reason for it. If
It
the
was
second half of
but managing tournaments, it
hmm,
was the most worst organized season ever in the history of Indian football. Period.
hmm,
At senior and junior level.
hmm.
So if you're saying
and
it was good, um, you know, then getting to the next level is going to be, for me at least, it's going to be difficult. I don't know with Hiren, but for
okay.
me,
Hmm.
also with national team, right? Yeah, you gave them matches, but at the end of the day, were those the right decisions? No, it wasn't. Look at the Asian Games. Very simple for me. I don't know for you, but for me, that's simple. Only sir will be Mumbai project was if my money offer for Diamanta was looks like it. Let's wait and see. Yeah, we will we'll, again. South Club Championship already exists called AFC Cup first round. Yeah, that's why it doesn't exist anymore, right? So it is being cancelled. Harry, who should be captain of India according to you, Archana? Good question. Hiren?
I think Shanta.
Yeah, yeah. I think
He should be. I think we need to look into the also keep in the mind of the next, not only maybe 1 or 2 years, but next 4 or 5 years, who can be a regular server for the national team. And I think Chante has
I
the at the moment has the capabilities.
I
Uh,
think the question is also who of the senior players stay after June, no? Does a Gurpreet stay? Does a Sandesh stay? Does a Rahul Beke stay? That is going to be the question I think that will be asked at that time. Right. Agni says top 5 football academies in India and Pakistan. Agni, it's very difficult to just pick out 5 academies. Again, I think generally
and
Mizoram, the
and
clubs are
what
doing well.
criteria? And I think what criteria? I mean, if you set a criteria कि कौन सी एकेडमी से ज्यादा प्लेयर यहाँ पे आईएसएल खेले हैं, तो आई थिंक उसमें भी आपको उस तरह से परफेक्ट रिजल्ट मेरे हिसाब से तो एट द मोमेंट नहीं मिल पाएगा। एंड बाकी जो टूर्नामेंट की सक्सेस पे अगर आप देखेंगे कि अंडर 17 किसने जीता है, बट आई थिंक द लेवल ऑफ कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस एंड द प्लेयर दे प्रोड्यूस, आई थिंक उस हिसाब से देखेंगे तो आपको बताना मुश्किल है। बाकी तो आप इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वाइज ने उस वाइज आप उस तरह से आप बोल सकते हो कि दिस आर दी गुड एकेडमीज।
Yeah. So that's one, and the second one is um, they're not testing themselves week in, week out, where you can say, I mean, we can say from an infrastructure perspective, Reliance Foundation has a good infrastructure. BFC with their academy has a good infrastructure. Goa has a
मद्रास
good
एफसी हैज अ गुड।
infrastructure. Madras FC has a very good infrastructure that they've built. Minerva Punjab are producing players. The ones in Aizawl are doing, the smaller ones, Classic, Rennety's Academy is doing very well. So they're doing well, but again, to compare them is going to be difficult. Right. One thing, as always, I'm trying to reach the 1,000 followers. Hiren has already reached his 10K. So congratulations again, Hiren, to 10,000 followers. And we still don't have good news. So therefore, we continue with what we talk about.
Because your 1000 is not happened.
अच्छा, उसके बाद then things will turn and we will only talk positive things. Devjit says, hello, Indian football player performance very poor. Only they want salary from my side. Don't like an Indian player. Very harsh. But yeah, that's a statement of a fan. Ishan says, sir, forums like Brown Ball is important for Asian football players abroad. No, they're not. But on their side, yes, they are, because on one side they highlight them. Yes, so that's a good thing. But again, everybody has to take care of his or her own career. So these kind of platforms, they're trying to become more interactive. I hope they are. But again, there's a huge report today in Sky News, Sky Sports UK, in regard to the lack of South Asian representation in British Asian football. So therefore, it is a huge problem, even though, the biggest immigrant community in England, in Scotland and Wales and the rest, the whole UK is Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi and Nepali. They are not involved that much in football. Classic Gaming says Anwar is easily a European level player. How do you make that judgment? My simple question. And I will say, I don't know what Hiren thinks. I will say, no, he's not. If he was an European level footballer, yeah, he would have played differently. And after the injury, he's been struggling.
वही तो दिक्कत है यहाँ पे, हमारे प्लेयर थोड़ा सा क्या अच्छा कर ले, हम लोग मानने लगते कि दिस प्लेयर कैन प्ले इन टॉप 5 लीग्स।
Yeah. We just took it with Dimi again still
and simple सा,
not sorted.
any player, कोई भी प्लेयर का भी सिंपल सा रूल है, if you comparing with someone then he has to prove it, simple as that. तो अपने आप को चैलेंज करना पड़ेगा, तभी आप बोल सकते कि भाई दिस प्लेयर आर एट द लेवल ऑफ दिस लीग और दिस जैसे कि क्लब।
surely. But sir, उसके पहले तो टूर्नामेंट नहीं हो रहा था अंडर एज कैटेगरी का. संतोष ट्रॉफी was last year shit, but this year tournament was bearable. Shyam, don't forget we're still coming out of a pandemic. So I think the
पेंडेमिक
comparison
से
that you
पहले हो
can
रहे
make,
थे ना, आई थिंक
all of
पेंडेमिक
them
से
were
पहले अंडर
happening.
16 अंडर 19 के हुए थे ना.
There were sub-junior, junior tournaments happening. Santosh Trophy was happening. Think about 2022, Santosh Trophy final, Kerala, Bengal, penalty shootout. You know, one of the craziest. You know, with the sold-out Manjeri Stadium. So therefore,
हाँ.
you know, just because you did it badly last year, you're doing it better this year doesn't mean that you've done a better job, because the people before you were doing a better job than you. So therefore, yeah. No GPS West for 6 months. Great tournament management by AFF. Yeah, let's see. This is what we've done. Criteria: general football development, youth football. See, Ogni is very simple. Quality coaching and good competitions. Nothing more, nothing less. Kids should be playing for, in Indian conditions, if you can play 6 months. That's why I say again, Hiren and I had a discussion on these general things in the afternoon. Just watch that program. I think we discussed a lot of things that you're mentioning here, because to me, those are basics. If you sort out your coaching, but again, Indian coaches will not say, "Oh, yeah, all is good," no, because they get exposed, right? So therefore, yeah, that's the thing. Amasa, 3 names for captain: Anwar Ali, Changte, Apuya. Yeah, could be amongst them. I think the question is if the older players are still around, then I'll see. You know, if all old clubs come back in
But
I League,
sir,
what?
if older player are also around, I still feel that this the Changten and they should be considered for the captaincy.
I'll be interesting. I don't know if the older players are still there, then it's suddenly a question of Gurpreet, Sandesh, or Rahul Beke.
But
What do you think?
if they are into but I still feel if we are, you can say, going into the next phase, then I think we need to go under the new captaincy.
It's going to be interesting. It's a question of the coach, who he thinks, who the new coach then potentially thinks is right. If all old clubs come back in I-League 1 or 2, which state will produce more clubs in I-League? See, that's a very difficult question, because again, Goa had so many teams, Bengal had so many teams, even Mumbai had so many teams in the past.
Teams.
And at the moment, it looks to me, I think Bangalore looks like a place which is producing a lot of teams. Sporting Club Bangalore made it. Bangalore United didn't, but still they're there. So therefore, you've got, Bangalore has got these clubs. You've got 3 clubs in the ISL from Kolkata. No, I first time in my memory that the I League or NFL will not have a Kolkata team in it. So that's also an historic underachievement, because United Sports didn't get promoted from the second tier. So therefore, let's see.
प्रतीक कड़े भाई, आपका वही उसी में आंसर आ गया भाई कि which state is growing faster. So you can say Karnataka is one of them definitely. And their under 20 team also reached final. They won the Santosh Trophy recently, last year. Sorry, last year. I think this season to.
Last year in Saudi they won it. Debrup Ismail spent so much on players like Mehdi. Diamantakos, probably Apuya, these good players, but it's good enough for Acer. So first of all, they only have Mehdi Talal. Diamantakos is not confirmed, and I don't think Apuya is coming. And for ECL, no, I don't think it's good enough. I think they will be out in the playoffs, as sad as it is. And ISL playoffs, I think also if you look at other teams, again, East Bengal, yes, are forming a team, but the others are working as well. Northeast is doing it. Chennai is doing it. Jamshedpur will be a dark horse as always. I think Mohammedan Sporting will be an interesting one. Punjab will be better. So for East Bengal to think that if they're going to spend money, that's automatically going to mean that they're going to get into the playoffs, I think it's very difficult. It's going to be Apuya stay in Mumbai से East Bengal को पूरा क्लब बेचना पड़ेगा, तब आएगा Apuya. Let's see what happens. I understand Changte had the stellar season, but completely overlooked. Anwar Ali felt a bit harsh. I mean, forms go up, down, but class stays. But Archana, I think it's not only the question. I've known Anwar for a while, and to me, Anwar is not a natural leader in a team. So for me, it's not a question of form. I've seen him as a 15, 16-year-old in that team. and he was not the natural leader. He's a good player, but some of the good players also don't automatically make natural leaders in a team. The question is if he's gonna, mature and grow up and do that. But I don't see him at the moment as a captain material for India. Sorry to say that. Apuya, yes, Apuya certainly has it, but Apuya also is someone that is going to be a question. And Hiren, I see you need to leave, huh? Bye. Thanks for
Yes, yes,
joining in.
yes.
Thanks for joining in. And Hiren will do this again and again. As always, those of you who are not following, please follow Curious Harry. The link is in the title as well, and we'll be doing our shows later this week again with Rahul as well, together with a friend from SportsKhabri, and um, we'll be doing that as well very soon. Thanks a lot, Hiren.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, bye bye.
Good night. Good night, Hiren. Good night, Hiren. So that was Hiren who joined in. Yes, I will just change that. Next question, Agni said, you think one of them batch for the World Cup, if they train outside India, they good potential. Yeah, the point is, and as I mentioned this earlier, that there was this, to me, the problem has been or is that we've not are not in a position to have camps abroad this time around. So that's a tricky thing. So therefore, for me, the team has to be better and prepared. But yeah, let's see what. So this is a bro, but for go position में मुंबई सिटी के प्लेयर्स जा सकते हैं किसी दूसरे क्लब कीपर के लिए इतना कंपटीशन नहीं होता. I think it looks like it that Renish will sign, and yeah, let's wait and see if he's gonna come back as well. Let's see. So can players make it in Africa like how Brandon did in South Africa, and then probably they can get scouted if they are good enough? See, Brandon went to an academy, and they came to play a tournament in India, and Brandon got picked up at the time. To Africa, and Africa, the local standard, again, the salaries is an issue, and therefore we'll have to wait and see where it is. But at the moment, I don't see any players being able to play in the South African or Egyptian or Moroccan leagues. The leagues are too good. Honestly, any updates on another thing? Scouting for opponents. Currently, the under 20 nationals are happening. So final Delhi versus Karnataka. So the scouting is going on there, and the under league is going on. So therefore, and therefore that's going to be there. Yeah, that was classic gaming answered by Hiren. That is, sorry, Pratik. That was which they direct faster. That is, of course, Karnataka. Chankte at the moment is at the camp, if I'm right. How player from non-league move in Nico's non-league that's strong the players from 25 Vardy came off water top but get the system is transparent. Yeah, if you're good enough, you can still make it, right? So that's the thing. Jamie Vardy, Miroslav Klose, the highest goal scorer in the World Cups. He used to play 6-tier, 7-tier football in Germany before being a top-tier footballer. So yeah, it happens. I know it's too early, but who could think we bet on to replace Sunil Chetri? Ishan says. Ishan, I made a video about it in a few days ago in regard to asking that question: who could be sort of the new Indian number 9? I mean, I've put out a few faces, the current ones. It might be one of them. It might be someone totally different. But at the moment, I'm using Chankta as a false 9. Manveer comes into it. Parthiv Gogoi comes into it. Ishan Pandita stays in the discussion. Vikram, Rinzwala, and David. Those would be the ones at the moment who are the most logical. Which maximum famous European marquee player can come in the asset? I don't see any really famous. So therefore I don't see any top level marquee coming in. The money is not big enough. The salaries in Europe have gone up as well. Nothing against Sunil, but I want India to lose. Can't withstand him for another 3 years. Yeah. Ahmad says it's time for Rahul KP need to change the theme. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I think the Sahal example is a good one. That maybe Rahul KP might need to move clubs and move to the next level. So I do agree on you that. But this is underage players are giving good performances in leagues. What's your thought on it? See, it's difficult to judge because you know So therefore, for me is something which I'm not gonna be able to judge, because again, for at a national level to understand what is the level, you have to watch a lot of football, and at youth level I don't watch that much, to be honest. If you go back, I'm a good proper strike for India and clubs. He has that aura about him. I feel when I watch him. Let's hope, you know. Um, let's hope and see what he can do. Classic games saying, if you want to find out if a sport is growing or progressing, then you should look at how the women's team is doing in that particular sport. We have speech in women's football, but AFF. Classic, agree and don't agree. I think generally, a sport, football is quite a big sport, even in an Indian context. So from that perspective, I would say that that it is there. And the women's game, sort of, if we want to look at it, in the last 2 years has sort of been stagnant. We've not developed as much as we could or should. So that's a concern, in my opinion. Why a club does not scout in Africa? Players can come in the cheap price and save money of club, and that money can be used in Indian players, because you don't know what you're going to get. You're buying with, again, if you're scouting, your scouting in Africa will not be as good as the scouting generally is around the world, and African players don't. You'll get lesser quality Africans wanting to come to India. The better ones will want to go to Europe, maybe to South Africa, to the Middle East, but they won't come to India. But this is both Northeast teams now semi-final lost. I'll happy to see the competition. Yeah. Sometimes if Vipin goes to overseas, then we should target Rahul KP or Jitin MS, speedy players like City, and both have speed. Let's wait and see. Yeah. Shem says, but Delhi team has also Northeastern players. Only Karnataka also has. The guy who scored the win against Manipur was actually a Manipuri. So just to give you an example. Arnab says, why are players who has quite a foreign exposure like Brandon J, Akash, Ishan still fights for place against the likes of Shuashi Thapa on a proper academy experience? Thapa also went abroad, Arnab. He was with Mets for 6 months, if I'm not wrong. So he has international experience. The question is, Brandon Akash had higher level of exposure. Yes, agreed. Jay Ishan, lower level, Spain, right? And I think at some stage you are not developing anymore. I think that's the biggest problem. I think there are exceptions. I think, again, Chante is a good example of a player who has evolved, who has developed. But other players, I think, have been stagnant. So therefore, they need to do more. They need to be more, there needs to be more development. So therefore, let's wait and see what happens. Deepa Korea won U17 Women's Asian Cup, where he had worked on women's team, bring in money for FIFA and AFC tournament. But the way, how much money does Partizan get? Nothing. FIFA you get, AFC you get a little, but in Korea, the Koreas, the Chinas, the Japans have been working on the women's games for decades. Deepa Korea has been world class, not even Europe, with all the problems. So you have to spend time, money. There are no shortcuts. Classic gaming, there are no shortcuts. Women's football, we've not been doing the right thing. Bangladesh is overtaking us at youth level already in women's game. Shem says, but Sunil sir didn't have academic experience. Yeah, but he still was at young age. He played in the Delhi league and then came to Mohun Bagan. So I think that kind of exposure helps. If you're a player, those kind of things help you to evolve and develop, and surely that has helped Sunil become the player that he is today. So therefore, it's a level of exposure which you wouldn't get. So for Sunil, I think that was important for him to get to the next level. Yeah, that's all your questions. Again, those of you who haven't subscribed to arunfoot, please do that. I'm slowly getting to the 1,000 mark. As it says here below, that's the target. Question TSG Aryans asks, when will final 22 be announced? I would think before the team moves to Kolkata, which is going to be, I think, around the 1st of June. I think then will be announcements made. Yeah. Archana says, I want to understand the owners of football academies in India. Why, Archana? Could you say why you want to understand them? FC गोवा क्यों है ट्रांसफर विंडो में सब क्लब ट्राई कर रहे हैं किसी ना किसी प्लेयर को लाने में लेकिन गोवा को सुनना नहीं बस संस्कार if you don't hear a club doing something um, um, Goa Jamshedpur is another one. They're working transfers. The question is if, again, you are interested or others are interested to know what's happening. And, you know, maybe Mumbai City FC, for example, we're talking about Dimanta cost, but they're going to get in someone totally different, right? So therefore, these are transfer rumors, they're transfer talks. FC Goa, I think, needs to also decide, does Manolo stay, does Manolo leave? So there are multiple questions on the FC Goa front which needs to be answered. But great in developing players. I think all those, Central America maybe. Central America might be a place where you don't talk enough of the players that are being produced. Yeah, that would do it. Actually, this is, are they profitable? Then why are they running it? Because they're producing the same quality players. No. They're not profitable, and again, I think you have to ask each individual why they're doing it. The one or the other academy might be making money here and there, but they're all not profitable. The Senior Women's World Cup will get similar money as the men's, because FIFA always talks about quality and favors women. Sort of. No, the men's World Cup is much higher, and not the men's World. Actually, what if they want to see Kerala Blasters? Imagine Noah, Luna, and Diamantacos together. Actually, that's not going to happen because Diamantacos has already announced that he is not staying back at the Kerala Blasters. He has left the club already. नहीं क्या अब सब official हो गया है. Again, Sanskar, it's up to the clubs, and it's up to the journalists to discuss and announce. And I know that Goa is working on things, Mumbai is working on things, Northeast is working on things, Jamshedpur is working on things, and you and I might not be knowing things, or maybe I know the one other thing or rumor, but the one other thing is just too generic. I'm not going to put it out. So therefore, that's going to be interesting to see how these, on if these transfers actually happen or not. So therefore, a lot of talk. You see, especially out of Kolkata, of course, is a lot of things come out in regard to which player, or even lists, with the list of Carlos Kodrat, which contains players who have long-term contracts where the players don't even want to leave. Apuya is an example. Suresh was an example. So therefore, we'll have to wait and see what happens with those transfers. Yeah, that's that. Over an hour, guys, already. Thanks a lot for all of you who've joined in. As I said, so therefore, please, as always, as I say, like the channel, share, like the videos, like the channel, and again to subscribe to it. Share things, and if you've got any ideas, thoughts, do write them up under the videos. Thoughts on, I think it's a good idea, but it's more of the Under-17 World Cup is more of a football festival than a proper tournament, because again, it wants to include 211 nations, all FIFA members. Good idea from FIFA's side, I feel. Sanskar, as why Pawan are loyal to the club needs no play for FC Goa, suddenly again, forget the foreigners, about even Indian players. It's not about the loyalty. I mean, the point is, if you've got an opportunity to move on, to make money, you will do that. And individuals do that, and footballers do that as well. So therefore, this is happening. So therefore, players leave. So therefore, let's wait and see. Puja saying now is more fun approaching it differently. I mentioned you once that from this season the approach will change. How do you see this news being a long short transition we needed? Pujan, I think one problem I just mentioned a little while ago, I don't know if we're here, but I find it dangerous that the coach makes a list of players, and most of these players are actually attached players to other clubs who are not on the market. Suresh was not on the market. Apuya, nobody has approached him, and it's been, Um, so therefore that's that. Talal, very good signing. If East Bengal can get Diamantakos, very good signing. But then the problem area remains defense and defensive midfield. How are you going to sort that out? If that can be sorted out, East Bengal now has a good backup goalkeeper with Devjit, but also the bench with the Indian players need to be better. So that's going to be the other area. If East Bengal can sort out all these things, East Bengal can be a better challenger for the top six, because, as I've also said, the others are also trying to get better and stronger. Chennai is working to that. Northeast is doing that. Punjab is doing that. Jamshedpur, all of them. And Mohammedan Sporting will also try and do that. So the top six race with 13 clubs gets even tougher. So for East Bengal, now they have to be good, consistent. I would like to see East Bengal be more settled overall, and foreigners not coming and going with so many injuries. So therefore, the medical staff also needs to be, up to the mark. So that's what let's see. How is ever using TWT test? Can we say that now Indian football lift up the age for curse fine? No. Yeah. So therefore, for me, TW test is good, but it's not very precise out of own experience always. So sometimes you really don't know how old the player is, because the bone testing range is quite big, but the curse is still there. The curse is as there as it was. What impressing on the transfer window? So far, Sanskar, it's too early. It's May. The transfer window officially has not even opened. So for me to be able to give you a judgment on things would be a little early. I would rather give you a judgment, let's say in late July and August. I think that's more realistic, because then we'll know how the teams are already looking. The Durand Cup is sort of around the corner or underway. At the moment, it's a little early. Again, because as been discussed, certain teams have not. You don't even know who's their transfer targets. Who are, how will the teams look? So let the teams put themselves together, and then let's have that discussion of who's been impressive, who's not. Again, some teams have made some good moves, but we'll have to see. Kerala signing Noah Saduri, East Bengal getting Mehdi Talal. Those are good signings, but again, we'll have to wait and see who is going where and not. And Punjab has also done some good signings with Vinith Rai and with Ninthoe. But yeah, it's a long time, it's a long way. So let's wait and see. Right. Once again, thanks a lot, guys, for joining in. Nice session, and I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Thanks also for Hiren to join in, and as always, please subscribe if you haven't to arunfoot yet. Please subscribe to the channel and support me and get to the 1,000 mark, and then even further. And I'll be back soon, and let's see. And just to answer. Classic game in OC for FC Champions League Women's. They have to get through the qualifiers into the group stage. So I hope that they get to the group stage. I think that's the main thing for Odisha. So classic gaming. I end this video now. Thanks a lot once again. And I'll be back very, very soon. Thanks and bye. Good night for now.